You're listening to the Leader by Design podcast, and today we are going to dive into some habits that help people, leaders, business owners, and students alike lead, learn, and live. And these are the 7 habits of highly effective people. We're going to unpack those over the next few weeks, but today we are just talking about 2. So whether you're a secondary school student or a business owner striving to grow their business, then these habits are well known, well established, and because they are, they're absolute game changers. So we're going to unpack those today. If that's of interest to you, then stay tuned. G'day, I'm Brendan Rogers. I've built a thriving business creating confident leaders who achieve the results they always wanted, along with the lifestyle they always dreamed of. How do you become a confident leader? By focusing on 3 key areas: developing character, building competence, and creating connection. This is the Leader by Design podcast. Hello and welcome again. I'm Brendan Rogers, your host, and I am here with my co-host.
Hello, it's Emmy. We're back.
We are back, Emmy. So good to have you again. You're here for another Friday. It's always good to have you. You're so vibrant, aren't you? We keep saying this Inspire with Emmy avatar that you have. It's the real thing.
It is.
How's your week been?
Great.
Yeah?
Good week.
What's been great about it?
Preparing for our hike next week, which is exciting.
That's right. Where are you hiking to?
We're doing the 6-foot track out at Katoomba.
Nice. Hopefully it's not wet and cold.
Let's hope so. It's meant to rain,
dry
but
and
hopefully
warmer.
It dries off. If not,
Yeah.
it should be fun.
And how far's the hike? Do you know?
I think 42 kilometres.
Wow.
So
That's a fair effort in a few days.
it is. It's quite far.
It sounds like fun. Well, the best thing about it is you're going to go on a hike. You've been preparing for your exhibition and your talk to the student and teachers and parents and folk. And today we're going to unpack 2 of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Do you remember the first one?
Being proactive.
Absolutely. And the second one is begin with the end in mind. So we're going to relate those to, hopefully a lot of people listening to this podcast have heard of the 7 habits of highly effective people. They may not be able to list them off. And hopefully we can share today how these things actually relate to business ownership, which is the field that I play in. And you've learned a bit about that over the time. I'm having a bit of a tongue twister here at the moment. But you'll also put your perspective on from a student side, because this is going to make up a bit of your learning over this period of time, and also for your exhibition and how you're going to get the audience excited about how the 7 habits are highly effective. Funny that.
Yeah.
7 habits of highly effective people. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You get my joke? No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Hey, I know. I've got an audience of 1 and I can't even make that laugh. It's a pretty crap joke anyway. All right. First habit, be proactive. You try not to chuckle into your microphone too much, aren't you? Mum, she's trying to not say yep, yes, yep, nope. All right, be proactive. Give me the Emmy spin on be proactive. What is it?
Taking accountability and initiative of your actions, being responsible for what you do and not letting other people control and influence what you're doing and the influence you have.
Have you found that difficult at any time? You know, you're at school, you're in year 11 going into year 12. There's lots of influence around, good, bad and ugly. So have you found that difficult at any time to sort of be proactive and take responsibility? And that responsibility may look different to maybe what people in your friendship group take.
Yeah, I think definitely. Even planning our leaving school project, what do we do when we leave school? There's a lot of influence of go to uni or do you want to travel? And I think personally, I haven't decided what I want to do yet, but there's so many different options and you get the different voices from people and opinions, and yeah, they just have that influence, and there's different, I don't even know what to say to that part, different effects on you, like different
influences,
opinions and influences, yeah.
So being proactive, let's talk from the student perspective and this internship that you're currently doing, getting this opportunity to talk on podcasts every week. What a great internship.
It is pretty good, yeah.
How cool. We just get to talk rubbish every Friday and hopefully people learn from our rubbish.
Yeah, basically.
So being proactive, we could really link this habit, the first of the 7 habits, to how you approach getting an internship? What did you need to do? How did you need to be proactive? How do you need to take responsibility for your actions to make this happen?
Finding somewhere to go. Like, it's not easy looking through on Google and finding heaps of businesses on the Central Coast. It's a matter of what are you interested in and what's a business that's going to help you with your interests and what's going to help you get something out of it as well. So you want to explore different industries. So I think discovering and going to my LTI coordinator, like we've spoken about before, and saying, all right, what options do you have? What can I look into? And then from there, she gave me some options. So just taking that proactiveness and that initiative to find somewhere to go.
And lucky you did, because do you think that maybe people like me, a business owner, is just sitting there sort of thinking, oh, I'd like to take on an intern. How about I contact Central Coast Sports College and they make a call and it's just going to fall into your lap? That doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, not very often at all.
So if you're not going to take some proactive steps to make things happen, you want to learn about something, how do you make that happen? What steps can you take? You may not even be aware of how to take the first step, but then maybe a step of being proactive is going to, again, in this case, maybe Tim, your advisor. It could be your parents or somebody else you've got trust in. I want to learn more about this. What do you think would be a good step in order to do that? Sound fair?
Yeah.
From a business owner perspective, Emmy, I look at it and think, well, proactive and leadership development side as well. So most business owners are leading in some shape or form, even they've got some people or they're leading supply base or customers, whatever that is. But the being proactive, so even from a customer service delivery, like how can I deliver better customer service? How can I be more proactive with the service delivery I have? It might be some market conditions. How can I get above or be ahead of the game as far as the economy next year might be looking a bit rough. What could I do to be proactive about taking steps to shield my business from harm? If I'm leading people, it might be that, okay, I really look at always the individual to start with. So if you're leading people and that person that you're leading is not really performing at the level you're wanting them to perform, then as a leader, I strongly encourage then the proactive step to take is look at yourself. What can I do? Or what am I doing differently? Or what could I be doing that's going to help get a better result? So taking responsibility, being proactive about taking that responsibility makes all the difference. So how did you get your job?
I was actually looking for an internship at the time, and because my boss, his son, plays in the same soccer team as my brother. And so Mum reached out to him and was like, would you take Emmy as an internship? And then he's like, well, sort of not, because it's sort of like a casual job. It's not really like saying you can go shadow somebody, which you could. And then from there, I sort of just started working there. And it just formed from actually looking for an LTI again.
There you go.
Yeah.
So once again, I knew a little bit of the story, so taking some proactive steps, just putting it out there into the universe. And all of a sudden, in this case, your mum, so through a relationship, ask somebody, and this is sort of what's happened. And even better, you're not working there and not getting paid. You're working there and getting paid now. That's much better than just interning there, isn't it?
Depends. I think this is great.
Well, it is, but
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You want to get paid to make pizzas. You don't want to do it for fun, do you?
At home, it's fun. So.
Oh, well, you're too kind. You're too nice, Emmy. My goodness. So proactive, I guess let's just sum up being proactive. So like you said, really well said, taking ownership of your behaviours, your actions, looking at yourself first. Again, whether that's a student in college and how they study and if they need to find out information, the same in a business ownership perspective, need to find information, take ownership, take responsibility, be proactive, don't be the victim, don't play the victim card, and that's the starting point for all good things to happen, for opportunity create itself. And that's what's happened for you in this internship. That's what's happened for you in work. I'm sure there's been some of that proactiveness about how you're involved in netball coaching and coaching the same team for the last few years. So all that stuff, if you're just sitting in your room waiting for things to happen, it doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen, no.
So when you're sitting there playing your PlayStation and stuff like that, you don't do that, do you?
No.
No, I didn't. I knew you didn't. All right. Do we want to say anything else more about being proactive and give people insight there? Do we need to say anything more?
I think just honing in on what you can control as well. So there's a thing called the circle of control and your circle of concern. So is inside of it is the things all you can control, like the things you say, the things you help with people, like all things about yourself. Like you cannot control what other people think, what people do. And that's in your circle of, circle of control. And then you have your circle of influence.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things that you can still have an influence on the outcome, but you can't control what's going to happen. Like you can have an effect on what happens to them, but you can't, like I said, you can't control what the outcome is. And then you have things that you cannot control, the weather, politics, all that stuff that you have no handout or no control over. So I think just if it's not in your control, don't worry about it. Like you can only control yourself. You can't control what other people do as well.
Don't stress. It seems that's sort of there's lots of things going on in the mind, but it's sort of the root of anxiety, isn't it? We're worrying about things that may not even happen.
That's exactly
certainly
right.
That haven't happened yet. So, and a lot of the times those things aren't in your control. So why stress too much?
That's a great question.
I know.
I don't know.
Doesn't make sense to me, does it?
No.
You either. Fair enough. Is there any, what sort of example would you, so you're going to be presenting some of this information in a few weeks to a number of people, which I can't wait. It's going to be super cool and
That's
very
great.
excited for you. So is there any activity or is there any story that you want to use in that presentation that's going to help you get your message across to the people who are going to be there listening?
I wouldn't say as much as a story, but I think finding that proactiveness over that reactiveness, like taking that self-control rather than having that reactive mindset as well. Like off the top of my head right now, I can't think of one that I'm going to present, but I think just getting that point across of if you be proactive, this is what happens. You get to do great podcasts.
Absolutely.
You get to work with great people. If you're just reactive or you're just sitting by yourself, it's not going to get you anywhere as well. I think that's with students at our school, it's so hard to find an internship half the time. Either most of them are proactive about it, but it's taking that next step after just emailing them. What can you do next? And I think that's something I can help relate to when I'm presenting, put them in their shoes.
Yeah, great point. And it's good that you mentioned about the internships, and there's a lot of your student cohort are being proactive around things, but it's not just being about being proactive first time and not getting an answer. Like there needs to be follow-up. There needs to be some grit and determination to, okay, this is not quite there. How do I move this forward? Like you contacted your student advisor and said, hey, I haven't heard back. Again, we've spoken a bit before about how my system wasn't quite where it needed to be, so I didn't actually receive the email. But if you just given up and said, oh, that door's closed before you even knew it was open, then maybe you didn't get an internship, or you maybe went somewhere else where you definitely wouldn't have as much fun.
Yeah. Basically sums it up. Yeah.
So yeah, the follow-up, the grit determination to continue to be proactive. You get knocked down, get back up, go again, make it happen. If you're not quite sure of the answer, seek out someone that can help you with the answer. That's all about being proactive, taking responsibility and accountability. As a student growing up in life, generally, it's important, certainly as business owners and having business ownership, it's super important. If you don't do that, then believe me, customers don't just fall on your lap. It doesn't happen.
Nope.
All right, let's move to our second one. Sound fair?
Yep.
What's our second one? Our second habit of highly effective people we're talking about today.
Begin with the end in mind.
And what does that mean?
Planning your goals, seeing the end. Think of it like a map. Without the end destination, you've got nowhere to go. Like, yes, you can drive as many places, but if you haven't got a destination, you're just driving. Where I think with that end goal, you've got little steps that you can work towards. Yeah.
I love the analogy, the map. Because somebody might say, well, I love going on holidays and sort of not knowing what I'm going to do. Okay, but you still begin with the end in mind, because where are you going to go? Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go to Italy. Okay, awesome. So you may not know and have your plan around where you're going to be each day or what direction you're going to take, but your goal is to see Italy, to spend time in Italy, to experience the culture and stuff. So you could still, for people that sort of push back, say, oh, I don't like to have a plan, I don't like to set goals and stuff like that. Well, you actually are.
Without even knowing that you're doing it.
Exactly. Exactly. We talked about Christmas, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
People have goals for What's a goal for you for Christmas? Well, goal for Christmas sounds a bit weird, but like what do you hope to do for Christmas? What do you want to achieve for Christmas?
Enjoy the Christmas ham for lunch.
Enjoy the Christmas ham for lunch. Wow. I'm sure you guys have great ham. So what has to happen in order for you to be able to enjoy the ham?
Ask my dad, where are we getting the ham from? Help cut it up. That probably wasn't a good analogy to start with.
No, it's perfect. I love it. Ask your dad. So being proactive about that, pushing your dad, hey, make sure you get the ham.
Don't forget the ham. We need that ham.
Does it need to be a certain size to make sure it feeds everyone?
A big size. So there's lots of leftovers.
Lots of leftovers. So you need to be eating it Boxing Day, the day after Boxing Day, and the day after that as well.
Yep.
At least. Well, I mean, we joke about this, but there's a goal.
Yeah.
It may seem silly. It's not silly because how many other people, I'm looking forward to ham on Christmas. My dad brings the ham. My mum and dad bring the ham. So it's cool. He always gets a good ham. So I'm going to be doing the same thing. Dad, have you got the ham? Have you got it yet? Have you got it yet? So there's being proactive, just reminding. He might forget, unlikely. Your dad might forget. You're being proactive and reminding them. And your goal is to enjoy that ham.
Yes.
How do you like to have your ham?
Sliced with like a bit of salad, bit of pumpkin, bit of...
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. So we'll flog to death the ham and how we eat it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, again, to get the point across is like there's a goal. Might seem silly to some, but there's a goal. This is it, and these are some steps I'm going to take to do that. So the same could be said for business. Again, in my world, I talk about what does success look like in X period of time. What does success look like for Emmy at the end of the internship? What does success look like for us at the end of this podcast? Maybe it's just that me, you, and more than your mum and dad and, Tim listen to the podcast.
I actually have friends who listen to this, so
exactly.
they'll probably go home and listen to this.
Do you need to call out anyone?
Thanks for listening to it, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. Begin with the end in mind is, again, it's really important. It's a roadmap. You said map. It's a map for where do we want to go?
Yeah.
What success do we want to have? What does success look like? Because then what can we do? We can plan the steps we need to take.
Yep.
You can seek out the people you want to seek out to help you on the journey.
Ask.
Exactly.
Yep.
Pretty powerful term, asking, isn't it?
It is.
Just ask. You can take responsibility for asking.
You can.
Okay. So when you do your presentation again, how are you going to talk about this, or is there an activity or, again, a story that you want to share with people around beginning with the end in mind?
I think using this habit as a bit of personal reflection. So last time I presented this, I wasn't very proactive with planning out, like taking that initiative to find a project or beginning with the end in mind. Like I didn't set out my project. I think this time I've had the goal. My goal was to create an engaging and exciting exhibition, and now I've taken these different steps each week to help get me there. So I think sharing that point across as well to my audience, so then it also hones in on presenting personal growth, but also like setting goals and then taking those little steps to set them.
If you think about your prefecture that's happening, you're now a
Yes.
prefect for the school. How do you think these first two habits, being proactive and beginning with the end in mind, how do you think they're going to help you in your journey of leadership as a prefect at the school?
Taking initiative with tasks, like getting things done as well. If you get set a task or come up with ideas and following through with them as well. I think setting goals for next year. What do we want to do for the school, and how are we going to take little steps to achieve them? I think they will definitely come in very handy. Just
Absolutely.
following that. What did we say before that? Pathway.
Yeah.
Of the goals.
Absolutely. The pathway to goals, the pathway to success, the pathway to life, like integrating these things into the fabric and actually understanding that there's probably a lot of people out there that may or may not have heard of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and we just talked about 2 today, but when you can relate it to maybe what they're doing, their work or some passion, hobby they have or whatever it is, they're probably doing elements of these things already and just not realising it. And that's going to be the key, isn't it, for you, a key message to people to say, well, how do I relate it to people in their world so they can see that actually they're probably they're probably living some of this. And maybe if they do it even more deliberately, then they'll achieve even better results.
Yeah, you don't even know you're doing them half the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Where have you seen your mum and dad do them? Either be proactive or begin with the end in mind. They've got a business, they're business owners.
If there's a problem, taking that proactiveness to find a solution for it as well. Setting goals as a business, you want to set goals. What do you want to achieve? Like I've seen you work with teams before and you set that end goal. All right, what do we want to achieve? Okay, let's celebrate more success. Let's celebrate our wins. I think in a business, they set goals as well and as a team, they work towards achieving those goals.
Absolutely. Begin with the end in mind is pretty important. It gets said a lot in some of the workshops we do and setting some of the strategy in the quarterly offsites or the end of year reviews and stuff like that. And again, leaders have to be proactive in order to make sure that those things are happening. They don't just happen magically. You've got to be proactive, got to be disciplined, create the time, the focus to make it happen, don't you?
Yeah.
So, there's a saying, hopefully I don't butcher it because I used to use it a lot. I haven't used it for a little while, but weak cultures happen by neglect and good cultures happen through deliberate intent. Again, being proactive about creating a culture in the environment. Anything that you're not deliberate about will never be as good as what you would like it to be. So think about the work you were doing in your presentation. Now, we were talking about that just earlier today. You and I are more those people generally we leave things a little bit to the last minute, which is not fantastic. We're always trying to be better at that. And you have been fantastic. So you've been, what I've seen, you've been living these. Like you're working hard to be proactive about getting a schedule in place for your presentation, putting time aside, being deliberate about that, not just last minute rush sort of stuff. How easy or hard has it been for you to do that, to be a bit more deliberate about being proactive?
Not very easy.
Not very easy.
No, I think both these habits, actually staying accountable of the goals that I set and the tasks. Like each week I plan to research one of the habits and look into a different thing. I think staying accountable of that, like we have distractions at school. How can I stay on top of it? Where am I going to find time to make sure I'm up to date with each week?
Awesome. Well, Amy, I reckon we're going to wrap it up now, but I do want to ask you something. I want you to share with our audience. You did some pretty cool things over the last weekend. Tell us about your Friday night quickly.
We went go-karting.
How cool.
It was awesome.
The photos were awesome too.
It was amazing night. So we went out for a friend's birthday and it was just a really good night.
Yeah.
Feel good friends, good people. And we went really fast on go-karts around a track. There was a few incidents, but thankfully there was no serious injuries, but it was a great night.
Everyone got home safely.
Yes, we did.
Fantastic. And then Saturday night.
Coldplay.
Wow.
That was amazing.
How good.
Yeah.
Who was standing on the chair? You? Your mum? Dad?
Dad.
Dad was on the chair?
Dad was on the chair. He was having a ball of a time.
How good.
It was a great night. Yeah.
Yeah. I've not seen them live, but my daughter's boyfriend was in New Zealand this week for the Coldplay concert. I'm guessing he couldn't get tickets in Australia for whatever reason, but so he went to New Zealand with a mate and they had a great time as well. So how good.
Amazing experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Emmy. Your weekend was a lot more eventful than mine. I don't know what I did, but whatever I did, it was probably boring. So that's why I won't share what I did. It's always boring. So your weekends are full of excitement. Emmy, it was great to unpack the first two habits. We're going to do this over the coming weeks. We're going to look at probably habits 3 and 4 and maybe 5, 6 and 7 separately. We're not sure yet, but we're going to unpack these over the next few weeks because that's also going to help you and what you're doing with your presentation. And we can just talk through these things. We can learn a bit more about how we're articulating stuff or not, and we'll articulate it better for our presentation and those sorts of things. So well done. As a community, I hope our listeners have taken something again from this. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Great book if you haven't read it, but really all we wanted to do was unpack about how these things just start to relate to us in everyday life, and they do. And if you be more deliberate about things, then it's amazing the results you get. So if you're more proactive about things, be proactive about maybe identifying, understanding, reading, researching, whatever the 7 habits a little bit more. There's a great start. And then beginning with the end in mind, well, what do you want to learn from that process? You'll always have the end in mind. It's about whether you use that language or not. So business owner, student alike, doesn't matter. People will be using these habits, use them deliberately, and greater opportunities. It's a fantastic path for success in business and in life. Emmy, thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. We'll see you again next week.
Yes, we'll be
Awesome.
back.
Look forward to it. Once again, thanks for listening to the Leader by Design podcast. We'll catch you next week.
See you then.
In the hybrid working world, I've seen too many business owners and their businesses suffer because of poor performing employees, leading to below average results. If you want to improve your employees' performance to deliver consistent results for your business, you have to master one-on-one meetings. The doors to our Master One-on-One Meetings training program are opening soon. I'll teach you how to improve employee performance and deliver consistent results using one-on-one meetings. To be one of the first people notified when the doors open, go to leaderbydesign.au/waitlist. Don't wait, sign up now.